Hello everyone, welcome back to Random Car Things. If you're new here, welcome in. Today I'm gonna be talking about my little adventure with my first electric car, my 2023 VW ID4 standard trim. I decided one day that I was a little too bored and let's just say I decided to drive from Houston all the way up to middle of nowhere, Peoria, Illinois. Now, jokes aside, I wouldn't say I just decided to drive that. I had to drive up there for work, but I thought it would be a very adventurous thing to do, to drive up to work using my first electric vehicle. So it's actually the base trim of the 2023 model. It's only got 201 horsepower, a very small 62 kilowatt hour battery with a lovely range of 209 miles on a good day, sunny day, maybe not too hot, not too cold. So what makes you think I can drive 955 miles on this car? I'd like to say my adventurous spirit, but some might say stupidity. I'd say we're both correct. Now, if you're here because you've bought one of these cars or looking into buying one, or you've decided to do a similar road trip, or, God bless your soul, you're doing both in this car, then the first thing you want to check out is plugshare.com. Despite what the name might suggest, it's a very good site. It's free, and it's mostly people based, so it's all the fast chargers and slow chargers, with people rating them based on usage, kind of like Yelp or Google, and it shows you a great amount of detail, all the chargers around you, and even helps you with trip planning like we are gonna go over. So you can definitely apply filters in here too. You can see here I just move my filter up to 35 kilowatt for the chargers. That gets rid of all of your slow chargers and things like that. You can set what your speed you want, along with the ratings also. But what we want to do mainly is head to that trip planner section, and we want to select our destination and our start point. So I'll, go ahead and start with my Cypress, Texas, which is where I'm starting from, to Little Rock, which is actually where I decided to stay for the night, for my trip. Kind of midway, makes sense. So once you do that, you'll see that based on your profile, it will have already given you the range estimate of your car. So you can see right here, it's 209 miles for my car. And above that, you can adjust how far you want to go on your route, or outside of your route, we should say, to get to a charger, along with this big green bubble showing you all the possibilities where you can head to within that range from your starting point. So you can see here there's plenty of chargers, and by plenty I mean just 5 within 200 miles, but you can go ahead and select whichever one you want on your route. You can see here I'll start with this particular one, and if we look at that one, it's technically within range. It's 200 miles, but if you know anything with the electric cars, you don't want to push them that far. That's too much, especially on highway miles, and this being in January, it's definitely not hot outside, so that's definitely affecting your battery range. So you want to look somewhere in between, I'd say middle of your green circle if you can. In this case here, you can see I don't have too many choices, so I went ahead and selected this Shell Recharge. which was only about 70 miles away from where I started, which is not ideal, but it allowed me to start only with 80% charge from home and just drive to there and charge up. And then that puts the next charger, the motor company, only 133 miles, which is definitely doable in my car. Now, you could see I still have about 244 miles to go to Little Rock, so definitely can't make it there. So I'm going to keep looking and spot this Walmart Supercenter, which usually is Electrify America, which is great, so I'll add that in. Electrify America has a contract with VW, so I actually have 3 years of free charging with my car. So it's free, and it's about 134 miles away, and then 112 miles to Little Rock, which is perfect. But again, I'm still gonna drive up the next day, so I don't want to charge at the hotel. That's never something you really want to rely on unless you 100% know where your hotel is. So I'd advise charging once you get to a big city, and then going ahead to the hotel with a decently fully charged battery, or around 80% battery, so you can just head off the next day. And that's what I did. I added this last Walmart supercharger here, also from Electrify America, and that one topped off my battery. You can see about, I had 11 miles left to Little Rock, maybe a couple more miles after that. I stayed north of Little Rock, but overall, not too complicated of a journey. The shell in the beginning was definitely some kind of sketch area to be in, but that just comes in with middle of nowhere, Texas, and driving up to middle of nowhere, Illinois. So as you do that, you can save it separately as a different trip. You can see here I pulled up the second half of my trip, which I already had saved, and I basically had a lot more to go from here on, and that is because you can't always go the normal way with your electric cars. Everything has to be planned. You have to know where you're going, and going north straight from Little Rock did not really work out too much. Looking from the maps, so you can see here I took a diversion up to this Walmart Supercenter, and then up through towards Memphis, and then up the highway towards Illinois. And that is because there was a lot more chargers there, unlike the typical route. So you can see here I had, again, typical 122 miles, and then 80 miles, and then another 80 miles to the other chargers, mostly Walmart superchargers. Again, sticking to the chargers I know and the chargers that are free, which is great. But I did have to take quite a diversion there to get to my Walmart route, I'd say. So to explain that a bit better, let me just redo my trip planner, just straight from Little Rock to Peoria, Illinois, and you'll see the original route. It will show me. So this was the Walmart route that I went through to be a bit more comfortable. But if you do Little Rock straight to Peoria, Illinois, you can see it tries to go north, but there are barely any chargers on that route. You can see maybe there is 2 in the middle there, 2 on the top, but just looking at the distances in between and studying the route the night before, it wasn't very ideal, especially with the ratings and areas of those chargers. Plus, you can see all the way on the right side of my screen here is giving me a warning, saying that one of my segments or more have a total distance between the two chargers that is greater than my max range of the car. And that's exactly why I couldn't really go up that route. Now, you could have figured it out by going out of the way and charging maybe at a slower charger or something like that, but we don't want to do that. So I chose to go the other route, and that definitely adds more to it, but that's just what it happens. But make sure you also check the destination you're going to, as I obviously did not, and I ended up spending 6 months up in Peoria, lovely Illinois, with this Hyundai charger, being really my only source of charging. There were 3 in total in the city, but this one was the closest and the one that worked the best, and it was a charge point, so it was definitely a 40 cent per kilowatt type of charger, definitely not cheap, but it did get the job done, even though you probably ended up spending more money than I would have on a gas car. But yeah, that's the story of my little adventure up to Peoria, Illinois. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.